morning, but we're now into the month of August.
Woohoo!
Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. We're glad to be with you. Taylor and Dollar Bill here.
Yes, I can't believe it's already August the 3rd.
I don't. I can't believe that summer's about over in most cases. Now, when I was a kid, summer was all of June, July, and August. All of it.
Yeah.
Because you didn't go back to school till, Labor Day.
I know.
Now, some of these kids are already about ready to go back to school. Isn't school starting in like a week in some places?
I think it starts this week for Chilton County.
That's unbelievable.
Thursday.
See, that blows my skirt up. I can't get over it. It seems too early to go back.
I know. I think so too.
Yeah.
But what can we do?
Tell the days are getting shorter though already. I mean, here we are just in the first few days of August, but I can tell in the mornings now. Now I know it's cloudy today, but I've noticed coming in on Mondays and Fridays, especially when I have to get up so early, it's already it's dark later, and it is getting dark earlier.
Yeah, it is.
It's not 8:45 now. It's already dark at like 8:30.
I know. I hate that too.
Well, what I hate is they're still talking, and of course it may not happen, about changing our time situation where we don't switch between daylight savings time and standard time. They want to just do it once and never change the clock.
Yeah.
But they want to change it to the standard.
I
Which
know.
is not what I want. I want daylight savings.
I know, I do too. And I thought when they said that they were going to keep it the same, they were going to keep it with the longer days. So now I'm not so happy about it.
No.
I was really happy about it at first.
I wouldn't have minded being. It's not that the days are longer; it's that they're later.
Yeah.
You're switching it an hour later so that it doesn't get dark as early. It still gets dark early, and the days are still short. But holy cow, standard time. That's what I don't want.
I know, me neither. Hopefully they keep it to where it changes.
Well, they say that. I don't know if I like that either, though.
I don't know. I don't either, but I'd rather have that.
Psychologists say if you're going to make it one time, make it standard. And
really?
They say it's healthier. Now, I don't know why.
I neither, because a lot of people get that the seasonal depression.
Seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah.
SAD.
They get that with the standard time. So I don't see how that would.
Well, I think they get it in the winter weather, whatever time it is.
Yeah, maybe so.
I think it's just the lack of enough sunlight,
Yeah.
Because Patty that I worked with for years had that, and she had these special lights. They call them full spectrum lights, and she had to put them behind her legs or something. And
I know, that's still so weird to me. She put them behind her knees.
yeah, that's where apparently your body absorbs the most to give you the best.
That's probably.
It's not the eyes; it's the absorption or something.
Yeah, that's probably why everyone's vitamin D deficient, because nobody's getting sunlight behind their knees.
Good
for
point.
the most part.
Unless you lay out on your stomach or something. And I don't.
I don't either.
My front can be all tan. My back is always white. I sit or lay, but I don't lay on my face.
Yeah. You don't flip.
I just never have.
Well, today is Monday, August the 3rd. We have a couple of national holidays today. So today is National Big Forehead Day.
National Big Forehead Day?
Yes. Bailey makes fun of me and says that I have a large forehead, but I don't think I do. I think mine's pretty regular.
I wouldn't call your forehead big.
I wouldn't either, but he
Channel
does.
6 has a weather girl that has a big forehead. She's cute and pretty, but she's got a big forehead.
Well, in
Not
some
that
cultures,
that's particularly a bad thing.
that's what I was about to say. In some cultures, a large forehead is a sign of intelligence and beauty.
Well, there you go.
So, she must be pretty beautiful.
But then some cultures have big plates in their bottom lip, and that's considered beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. In other cultures, it's just unsightly.
Yeah, it may not be so good, yeah.
I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's also National Clean Your Floors Day.
Yeah.
And Baden has already been taking part of that.
He has. I walked in, and Baden was mopping the floor.
Yeah. 6 or 5:30 this morning.
He was swiftering it.
Yeah, swiffing. So Hubert Cecil Booth was a British engineer, and he was one of the first ones to make a powered vacuum cleaner.
Really?
Yes, and he was observing a demonstration of a dust blowing machine. He conceived the idea of sucking dust rather than blowing it, leading to his Puffy Billy vacuum system in 1901.
Really? The first sucking vacuum cleaner was 1901. That's a lot later than I would have thought.
Yep, I guess every time before then they were just blowing it out.
Yeah, or sweeping or whatever. Yeah.
But it was called the Puffing Billy, so there is that.
That's, I don't like vacuuming much.
I don't mind vacuuming as much as I don't like sweeping.
Yeah, I don't like sweeping it because I'm not any good at it.
Yeah, I always sweep
My wife
too hard.
says I'm a terrible sweeper.
Really?
I leave more on the, I leave as much on. I can't get it in that. I don't like it, so I'm not real careful anyway. But even if I am, I don't get it in the dust catcher. What do you call that thing? Dustbin or whatever it is.
Yeah, the dustpan. Yeah, I always sweep too hard. So when I'm trying to make my pile, it just blows over.
Oh, because you're too
Yeah.
aggressive.
Way too aggressive.
I don't think I have much finesse when it comes to sweeping either. I don't like mopping either.
I like the vacuum mops. Do y'all have one of those?
I've never had one of those, no.
They're
Too
pretty
cheap,
nice.
Too tight.
But they're hard to clean.
Are they?
Yeah.
Mary bought this one thing that was not a cleaner. It was not a vacuum or a mop. It was a steamer.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
this big, heavy thing that got hot and it blew steam on your floor.
Yeah, apparently that's like the best way to clean.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not fun.
It's very
And
hygienic.
it didn't last long.
Really?
Of course, here's the deal. You're supposed to put distilled water in it.
Yeah,
I didn't. I just put tap water, and I think it got
no.
calcified.
probably.
Because I
so.
tried putting vinegar in it and tried putting that CHR or whatever that stuff is that and we end up throwing it away. It only lasted like 6 months.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it was expensive.
That's
$100
awful.
something bucks.
Well, I love the handheld steamers instead of a mop, but mine always do that. They get the calcium in them.
Yeah, you have to use vinegar or
And it says put it in there and
CHR.
shake it, but that don't do anything. It
What?
never to shake it up. I thought
just with the water or with the vinegar stuff in it.
Well, mine just said water.
And you shake it?
Yeah, it's
Is that supposed to break up the calcium or
I think
something?
so, but I don't see how. It doesn't work anyway.
Yeah,
when you
that
do
doesn't
that.
make sense to me because you still got the calcium. It's just all shook up.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, did you have a good weekend this weekend?
I did have a good weekend. My son came down with his girlfriend to visit. We don't get to see him but once or twice a year, so it was nice. He stayed with us Thursday through yesterday.
Aw.
And then he went back to Boston. But he's Providence. But, yeah, it was good seeing him.
Well,
Goodness.
good.
Yeah. Did
I
you have a
like
good
that.
weekend?
I did. We went to Savannah. So it was our first time going over
Savannah,
there.
Georgia?
Yes.
Oh, it's a beautiful town. You can eat well there, too. Great restaurants.
I think that we didn't make good restaurant choices.
Did you not?
No. Well, we ate at one place. It's called Poe's Tavern. It was like Edgar Allan Poe themed.
Oh.
It was pretty good, but the other places we ate, it wasn't very good.
Really?
Yeah.
Usually Savannah's known for their culinary places.
Really?
We went there. There's a boarding house that you normally have to wait in line hours.
Oh my.
And you think, this is crazy. You just walk down the sidewalk waiting in line. But everybody that comes out rubbing their stomachs and looking pretty satiated, as they're walking by you, they go, it's worth the wait. It's worth it. And sure enough, it was.
Huh.
You go there, it's a boarding house. So you sit with strangers in these long tables, and they just bring out heaping bowls of food.
Oh, wow.
And everybody passes it around, gets what they want.
That's
They had the
cool.
best fried chicken I've ever had in my life, including pulley bones. That's their specialty. They actually cut their chicken with pulley bones, which, nobody does anymore unless your mother or your aunt or your grandmother used to cut up a chicken and would have the pulley bones.
Yeah.
But they do. And there was, typical good Southern fare. There was green beans and peas and, just great vegetables and different meats. It was nice, and it wasn't that expensive. But we waited an hour and a half in line to get in there.
Gosh. I would like to go back without Deason. I feel like it's,
Yeah,
I don't
a
know,
child's
he
not going to
just-
appreciate that town. That
Yeah.
town's the best part of Savannah is being able to stroll through the little sections where they have, they have those little parks everywhere. Because it was, that town was developed in the 1700s, really. And so they've got the old school, looks like Europe in some places, and you've got the Battery to go to down by the water, and
Yeah.
that's not, a little kid's not going to appreciate
No.
that at all.
He was just tired of walking the entire time.
And there was nothing he's really going to look at that makes much sense to him.
No. But we went down, they were having Monster Jam.
Oh, really? So you went to
yes,
that?
So we
Good.
carried him to that. That was our whole reason for going.
Oh, is it? Okay.
And he enjoyed Monster Jam, but that was about it. Oh, and the pool at the hotel.
Did what?
In the pool. He enjoyed the pool at
Oh,
the
at
hotel.
the hotel, yeah.
But
of course he did.
That was about it. But
Yeah, well,
overall,
for a little kid like him, that is, that's not. But as adults, you can go to Savannah and ride the little. Did you ride the carriage ride around?
no, we never saw any carriages. We saw the trolleys,
Yeah,
but
those are
no
good too.
carriages.
That's pretty neat. I like, that's also in Savannah where. Who's the lady that cooks so much, that uses so much butter?
Oh, Paula Deen.
Paula Deen, that's her town, isn't
Is it?
She has her restaurant there. I was not impressed.
Really?
I like Paula Deen's cooking. I like Paula Deen. I like her cooking a lot. I've used a lot of her recipes. We went to her restaurant and was not impressed. Wasn't
We've
that
been to
good?
her restaurant in Gatlinburg, and it was pretty good up
Yeah.
there. But I
Well,
guess
this is
down
her
in
home.
Savannah,
Savannah's where she's
yeah,
from.
she's got to step it up.
She's made so much money. I don't think she cares.
Well, it is 6:16. We're going to go to break really quick. When we come back, I have a story about a local hero, well, local to Arkansas, but we all know him well. So, y'all want to stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. We're tuning in to Morning Mayhem with Dollar Bill and Taylor. We'll be right back.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you. Whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss, Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
There's a pride that comes from employing over 6,000 people in America, welding, fabricating, assembling with local and global parts, delivering a machine just right for you. Japanese engineering meets American ingenuity that builds on our 50-year legacy of quality, reliability, and durability that makes us the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. These aren't just machines. This is a way of life. And that's why Kubota is investing hundreds of millions right here at home. Because we won't settle on what was good enough yesterday. We're innovating with inspiration from the hard-working men and women that proudly sit on our equipment every day. So you can be sure that every one of us have you in mind when a machine or implement comes down that line. We know how hard you work. We'll do the same. This is Kubota.
Good morning. We are back. We're glad you're with us. Thanks so much for being with us on this Monday morning, getting into August. School getting ready to get started for a lot of families. That's an exciting time for the parents, not always for the children, but the parents are really usually happy when school gets back in.
They are. I heard Miss Kim, she was on with us Friday. She said that they're having a teacher, I guess it's a work day today at the high school for
That's
all
right.
county.
Yeah, that's right. What are they working on?
I don't know. It may be kind of like a training thing, but she said all of the teachers and employees in the county are going to be there.
That's right. Yeah.
She was talking about making her crock pot candy. If you missed it Friday, she was on with this Miss Kim Robinson with Bama Benefits. She always brings us such good treats when she
does.
comes.
She makes goodies.
Yes.
She brought us sausage balls Friday. They were great.
I know.
I ate about 200 of them.
That's what I was telling Dayton how good they were. You hear sausage balls, you're like, oh, sausage balls. No, these were delicious.
These were top rate. These were great.
Yeah.
I ate so many though that I tasted sausage balls for the rest of the day. I'd be
no.
2 in the afternoon. I'd be talking. I go sausage. But it was good. They were really good. I just ate a lot of them.
Yes. But speaking of Miss Kim, she's one of our sponsors. Bama Benefits is her business. You can find her on Facebook, and her name is Kim Robinson. Also a sponsor is This and That Vinyl. They do a lot of work for us with T-shirts. And
They do good work.
Yes. They do stickers and embroidery, all the things. I actually have orders I need to go pick up from them
Really?
today. Yes. They get a lot of my money, honestly.
Is it for school or for you personally or what?
A little bit of both. They have Friday specials, and they'll have T-shirts of the day and of the week, and they get me every time.
There you go.
Can't help it.
They do a lot of our work
Yeah.
here at Piper Peak.
Well, today it's supposed to rain.
Is it? I didn't look at the weather this morning.
We have 45% chance of rain, but the temperatures are dropping a little bit.
It was really pleasant yesterday afternoon and last night. I
Yeah.
mean, really nice.
It was. Well, today, the hottest temperature is supposed to be around 345, and the hottest it's going to feel like is around 86.
Which is a piece of cake now.
I know.
Of what we've been going through.
That's right. But the low for today was 68, which is probably about what we're at right now. And it is supposed to rain a little bit, so be sure to pack your umbrella
Yeah,
if
it's
you're
still a
headed
little
out.
humid, but boy, it was nice last night. Really enjoyed it. It almost like you could almost taste a little fall coming in.
I know.
And I do look forward to that. I mean, I like summertime, but I hate the heat. But I do love fall. It reminds me that college and high school football's getting ready to start.
Yeah.
And that you're going to have cooler weather. I like to smell burning leaves in the air where they don't do it like they used to, but I could always tell it was fall when you could smell people burning their leaves that they raked up,
Yeah.
And I love fall. You start seeing pumpkins and Indian corn and all the decorations that people start doing for fall.
I know. The mums, All the things. You know, I don't remember if you were here, but I was telling Mike, I had pumpkins growing in my backyard. Were you here when I was talking about that?
No.
Well, Bailey, we were trying to add some grass to the backyard because our grass, it's not growing the best.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna plant some grass seed. He brought in some dirt from behind our fence, close to the wood line, and we sprinkled grass seed all in it. Well, then pumpkins started growing.
You must have thrown pumpkins over the fence at some point in time.
And they've never grown behind the fence, which I didn't think about the trees and the shadows and everything.
Right. Now
you know,
you're getting sun,
now,
warmth.
yes.
Yeah, they've generated.
That's right. And I thought that I was going to have a whole pumpkin patch back there. Well, I don't know if they just grew too early or if they've just burned up. I don't know. But they're starting to die. And I've got little bitty white pumpkins.
Do you really? You grew?
Yeah, that grew back there. But I thought they would get bigger and bigger, and they've not gotten any bigger. I just have a bunch of little bitty white pumpkins.
Oh, those little miniature white ones.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm hoping they'll hang on until fall. That way I can decorate my porch with them. But if not, then...
Can't you pick them now? Don't they last a long time before they...
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I need to look it up.
I don't like pumpkin pie. I can't stand pumpkin taste on, people that love the pumpkin
coffee
lattes and all that stuff.
I don't really care for
I
it
love
either.
sweet potatoes. I don't love pumpkin.
Yeah.
I like
don't really
sweet
care
potato
for it all
pie
that much.
rather than pumpkin pie. So.
But I'm hoping that all the pumpkins, they'll hold out.
Yeah, you might need to go to Tractor and Supply or somewhere and get your Petals of the Past or whatever. Find you some decorative pumpkins that maybe the big ones.
Yeah.
You might need to get those seeds.
Maybe so.
Because, I think a lot of the seeds that you get from pumpkins that you buy or eat or whatever, some of them are not, a lot of pumpkins aren't edible. They're just basically big gourds.
Yeah.
And you can't eat them. And then, like the ones for Halloween. But I think the way somebody told me that if you just plant their seeds, like you carve out a jack-o'-lantern and you get all those seeds out, those won't produce the same pumpkins because they've been hybrids or something.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Like the hybrid seeds won't. Yeah,
they don't do the same thing that you think you're going to get. So,
very weird.
Good luck.
Well, thank you. Well, speaking of fall, one thing that kind of goes with fall is spiders. And while many of us don't like spiders, a lot of us do like Spider-Man. And that was the local hero that I was teasing at before we went to break with Spider-Man.
Is he from here?
He is from Arkansas. They called him a local hero. I don't know why.
Local hero in Arkansas?
I guess he would be.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But he is in Jonesboro, Arkansas. A Spider-Man was caught on a traffic camera helping restore justice to the city. He helped push a man in a wheelchair across when he was struggling to make it across the crosswalk before the timer ran out. He jumped out of his red Jeep dressed as Spider-Man. His name is Christopher Hellenthal. He's 20, and he helped this man across the road, jumped back in his Jeep. He said that he had a ton of adrenaline pumping through him and that he was thinking, I'm wearing this suit. It's going to be pretty funny. Let me help this guy.
So, my question, why does he wear a Spider-Man costume around? I mean, is he just, is that his modus operandi?
I'm glad you asked. He just got off work from the trampoline park he worked at, and it was Superhero Day. And he wasn't expecting to be caught on camera. I guess he just thought it would be funny since he was wearing the Spider-Man costume. It was just like a happy accident. But the traffic cameras caught him, and whoever reviews the traffic cameras thought it was funny and shared it online. And the people that he worked with at the trampoline park saw it and recognized him. And they said...
Well, I guess so. How many Spider-Men are running around?
I know. But they said that it was very much like him to do something like that. And that it was also very much like him to still be in costume.
I got you. He likes it.
Yes.
Likes the attention.
I guess so. So
obviously a nice guy though, because he did do that, and they said it was like him to do that. So I don't know if they mean that because he's does a lot of good deeds or he likes to get the attention. I don't know which. I don't know if it was a backhanded compliment or a real compliment, but that's nice that he helped the guy no matter what. That's good.
I think so too. What's your favorite superhero? Do you have one?
I used to love the Green Lantern. I guess probably, I don't know, Superman. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really, when I was a kid, I liked Green Lantern. I don't know why. He was my favorite. But and there weren't that many when I was a kid. A whole lot of these Marvel and other, superheroes have come about since I was an adult.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Spider-Man and Wonder Woman and Batman and Superman. That may be just about it. Then we had
Really?
Green Lantern, Aquaman, maybe. I don't know. There were a lot of the new ones have been come around since I was an adult. So I don't get that. I'm not,
Are you the type that's like, nah, that's not really a superhero? They were made 20 years ago.
What do you mean?
Like you don't like the
Batman?
new ones?
The new ones?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess
Oh,
I
you
do.
do?
I just don't. I don't know a lot about it. I do remember the Hulk. Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like if it were me, I'd be like, ugh,
What's
they're
your
not-
favorite?
I really don't know. I'm not really into superheroes. I like the Hulk mainly because the roller coaster. Have you ever read the Hulk roller coaster? It's at Universal. It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah,
So Hulk's your favorite?
I'd say so. I kind of out like the Hulk sometimes. I have a little bit of a
They've
temper.
never done anything much with Green Lantern.
Well, that's sad.
He was big in the comic books, and then once they went into all these the movies and the stuff, you don't see the Green Lantern.
Nothing.
Have they done the? They did do one Green Lantern one. Remember the? I just remember they used the airport in New Orleans for the backdrop of that thing.
Oh,
Anyway.
well,
Yeah, I'm not much into the superhero stuff. I love to watch. What's the one where they're really bizarre and they're funny and they're they're like an alternative universe superheroes. They're all smart alecks and you got the girl with the baseball bat.
oh, the what is that called? Do you know?
We can't remember. Anyway, I like it because it's funny and it's irreverent.
I can't think of the name of the movie, but it's like
And their fight scenes are really funny as well as dramatic with all the special effects.
yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
We were watching the Batman from 1995 this weekend.
Batman.
I think it's like Batman Returns
Who
or
played
something.
it? Who played Batman in that
Oh,
one?
I have no idea.
Really?
Yeah. There's so many different Batmans.
There
I get
are.
them kind of confused. But we were watching all those this weekend, and Bailey, we were making fun of it, the one from 1995, because the special effects are just so bad.
Yeah, you watched that very first Superman that they did in 1974, I think
Oh,
it was.
probably terrible.
No, it's really actually still pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, Christopher Reeves was the the Superman. He did a good job. I remember watching that movie and talking to. I was at Alabama majoring in broadcast, radio, TV, and film. So I was taking film courses and doing films. And I remember talking with several of these other guys that were all into films about how amazing the effects were, that you really believed after you watched that first Superman, you really believed he could fly.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It looked so realistic and it was so ahead of its time. Now it does look kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
But it's only because they've gotten so much better with CGI and special effects.
Yeah. I think that's why we were laughing, because we're used to the stuff that looks
So good.
super real. Yeah.
It's amazing.
But
If you ever go back and watch Flash Gordon and some of these serials from the 30s and 40s,
Mm-hmm.
black and white, oh my God, they are so campy and so crude, but they're still entertaining. But like you said, now it's because they just look so ridiculous.
yeah.
I mean, the costumes, the acting, the writing, and then the special effects. They have rocket ships that are supposed to be going along in space, and you can actually see the wire, and the flames come out and the smoke goes up because it's like a firework.
Yeah.
Thing. Oh my God! It's so now, and the thing's doing like this, like up and down. But it's fun to watch them. But you look at that, and back then people were like, "Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
amazing."
It was so funny how far everything's come.
It really is. And, with the digital age, it's kind of scary and frightening because now there is no line between reality and non-reality.
Yeah.
They can create things now that you'd be hard pressed to know it wasn't absolutely real and true.
That's like the AI stuff. Some stuff I see, you could tell it's AI, but other stuff, it's like,
And it's getting better and better and better.
Yeah, it is
or
scary.
scarier and scarier and scarier.
That's right. Well, y'all, it is 6:35. We're going to go to break really quick. When we come back in the 7 o'clock hour, we're going to have a guest from a local Heritage Chapel on, so you don't want to miss it. You're tuning in to Morning Mayhem. We're going to hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back after that.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
There's a pride that comes from employing over 6,000 people in America. Welding, fabricating, assembling with local and global parts. Delivering a machine just right for you. Japanese engineering meets American ingenuity that builds on our 50-year legacy of quality, reliability, and durability that makes us the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. These aren't just machines. This is a way of life. And that's why Kubota is investing hundreds of millions right here at home. Because we won't settle on what was good enough yesterday. We're innovating with inspiration from the hard-working men and women that proudly sit on our equipment every day. So you can be sure that every one of us have you in mind when a machine or implement comes down that line. We know how hard you work. We'll do the same. This is Kubota.
We are back. It is a little bit after. Let's see what I look at the wrong clock. Our
6:40.
clock is screwed up. 6:40, 20 minutes away from 7.
Yeah, according to our clock, it's 3:53 and it's Sunday.
Yeah.
So
Is that 3:53 a.m. or p.m.? Are we in the early
I don't
morning hours
know.
of Sunday, or are we in Sunday afternoon? Nap
no
time.
idea. I'll take nap time
I'll take nap time.
for sure.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you so much to our sponsors, Chilton Chamber and Larry Puckett Chevrolet. We appreciate y'all so much. Chilton Chamber keeps us up to date on all the happenings around town, and Larry Puckett Chevrolet has the largest selection of pre-owned inventory. So, thank y'all for sponsoring our show. In case you missed it earlier, it's going to be a cooler day today. Around 86 is what it's going to feel like.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all, but it is supposed to rain. We're about 45% chance of rain here in Clanton. So you may want to take your umbrella with you when you leave for work.
Brella.
Rosie the Riveter has passed away.
Well, I'm not surprised because she had to be 100.
She was 100. She passed away on Wednesday, July the 29th. At 100
Last
years
Wednesday.
old. Her name...
She was 100?
She was 100. Her name is Jean Gibson. And I didn't know this until I read this article, but she was only 18 years old when she left her home in Minnesota and went to Seattle to become a welder during World War II.
A lot of, if you're young, you may not understand that so many, World War II was just that, World War II. Mm-hmm. There were very few men left in this country that could just work. There were a lot of men still here, but they were in the military. And then the ones that, it was World War with 2 fronts, Europe and Asia. So any man between the ages of about 18 and really almost 40 were gone or tied up.
Yeah.
So that meant, and of course, it was also a time when we had to double down on our industrial power to build tanks and vehicles and guns and planes and all that sort of stuff for war.
Yeah.
We needed workers and we didn't have them. So up until that point, women usually were at home. Mm-hmm. They didn't work outside the home much. If they did, they were domestic, teachers, nurses.
Yeah. Seamstresses.
Yeah. Women's work,
Yeah. Pink jobs.
Yeah. And, they started having to do riveting and welding and carpentry and metalwork and stuff. They built our airplanes. They built the bombs and the munitions. They built the boats and the ships. It was a complete change in America that has changed us forever, because when the women enjoyed working and they enjoyed making money, and of course they were doing it to help save America and support the war. When the men came back, a lot of the women didn't want to give up their jobs, especially since they had already been trained as welders or something specific. They wanted to keep doing it.
That's right.
And so the guys come back with no jobs, and they want their jobs or want to get a job. And it really started the two where couples, both people worked. That never happened much in the history of the world, much less in America. And so it changed everything forever. And then, of course, during the war years, they wanted people to buy war bonds. Mm-hmm. You bought savings bonds that supported the war effort. So they did these posters and they do these campaigns, and they created Rosie the Riveter. And it showed this blonde-headed lady, with pretty good guns on her, and a do-rag kind of thing. And she became one of the symbols of supporting this country during the war. Yeah. And she was very popular. Rosie they even did a song. There is a song called Rosie the Riveter.
Really?
Yeah. It was
didn't know that.
done by a jazz band, and it has the sound of the drummer makes the sound of riveting,
I'll have to look it up. That's interesting.
Yeah, Rosie the Riveter. It was a big, popular song in probably about 1942 or 3 or 4, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
The war was between 41 and 45, so that's what the height of that.
Well, you said that they built things for the war. That's what it said in the article, that she helped build destroyers during World War II.
So she was working on the boats.
Yes. And
Yeah,
then,
the huge shipyard up in Seattle.
yeah. And then after that, she earned her PhD. She dedicated 3 decades to teaching. She earned her private pilot license, and she did all kinds of other things. But in 2024, her and her fellow Rosies were collectively awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, and that's one of the highest honors.
Civilian honors. Mm-hmm. Very good. Yeah, Rosie the Riveter became, they had the one they used in the poster, but yeah, all women who worked heavy construction during the war years were Rosie the Riveters.
Yeah.
And nobody, does people still rivet anymore? I guess boats, do they still rivet boats and stuff?
I'm not sure. I wouldn't even.
I don't
This
see them
may
doing
be-
riveting for like, it used to be that was the big deal in these tall buildings where you'd heat the I forgot what you call the little rivet, I guess it is, heat it white hot and toss it up to a guy, and he'd put it in the metal and they'd rivet it, with the bunker. One is called the bunker, and the other is, I'd forgotten the terms for riveting.
So is that kind of like welding before welding?
No,
was
it's well, no. What it is you put two pieces of metal together with a hole drilled through them, and then you take this plug, and it's a steel ingot, little rivet, and it's round and it fits it, and you hammer it into that hole so that it fills that hole real tight, and there's stuff on either side. Then you have, I think it's called the bunker. Anyway, it's just a flat metal plate that a guy holds on one side, and the other guy takes this hammer and hammers the other side. Remember, it's soft and molten, kind of soft,
Yeah.
because it's so hot, and it squeezes it and hammers it and flattens the metal on either side to create the seal. So
Yeah.
you've got it can't be unriveted easily, and that's what holds the beams together. Now they weld the dang things,
Yeah.
more. But back then you couldn't weld much. It was too hard. But now they weld everything. So I don't know. I didn't know they still did rivets, but that's cool.
Yeah.
It used to be this. If they were building a big building, a big steel, a structure to build a building, you heard that incessantly, the sound of those those hammers going like that, and it was hundreds of them. It was amazing, but that's one of those things that's kind of disappeared.
Yeah. Well, it was neat. When we went to Savannah this weekend, the hotel that was behind ours, it used to be the power plant. It was like Riverside Power. And it was neat seeing all that in there because they've kind of made a museum out of it.
Ah, neat.
Yeah. And it had like the older type.
All the old stuff in there. Yeah.
That's what it made me think of. You
Savannah's an
describing
old city.
I know. And then also in there, though, they had like a dinosaur and rock museum.
Do they?
Yeah, it was really cool. But just seeing all the different old things and old buildings and architect.
I think I'm getting Savannah confused with Charleston because they're both so similar.
Yeah, and they're not far from each
They're
other.
not that far. North and South Carolina, Georgia and South Carolina, I guess, or maybe north. Anyway, one of them, I think it might be Charleston, now that I think about it, has like one of the most haunted buildings in America, supposedly. And it's the original jail. I think it's in Charleston, now that I think about it. But it's supposed to be one of the most, all the ghost hunters tell you it's just full of feelings and ghosts or whatever,
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be one of the most haunted places in North America.
Are you into things like that, like the paranormal?
I don't know. I'm fascinated by it. I don't know how much of it I buy.
Yeah.
I've never experienced anything. I would love to see a ghost or a blob or a dancing light or something talk to me or slam a door behind me or something. Nah, I must be adult when it comes to sensitivity because I've had nothing.
That is funny. So when we used to go to New Orleans all the time, we stayed in this hotel, and it was in the Garden District, and I had a paranormal. We've had a few paranormal experiences
Well, they say
there.
that Garden District's full of it.
Yeah. We're going to go break. When we come back, I'll tell y'all a little bit more about
ghost
it.
Story.
Yes. So it's 6:49. You're tuning in to Morning Mayhem on Piper Peach. We'll be back in just a moment.
There's a pride that comes from employing over 6,000 people in America. Welding, fabricating, assembling with local and global parts. Delivering a machine just right for you. Japanese engineering meets American ingenuity that builds on our 50-year legacy of quality, reliability, and durability that makes us the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. These aren't just machines. This is a way of life. And that's why Kubota is investing hundreds of millions right here at home. Because we won't settle on what was good enough yesterday. We're innovating with inspiration from the hard-working men and women that proudly sit on our equipment every day. So you can be sure that every one of us have you in mind when a machine or implement comes down that line. We know how hard you work. We'll do the same. This is Kubota.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you. Whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss, Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
We are back. Thank you for being with us on this Monday morning. Dollar Bill and Taylor here with you, and thank you so much for watching and listening to Piper Peach Radio's Morning Mayhem.
Yes, it is 6:55. It's August the 3rd, Monday, and there's about a 45% chance of rain today, but it's supposed to be a little bit cooler, so...
Yeah, we could use the rain.
Yes, we could use the rain, and I'm so glad that it's cooling down because it's been hot.
It has, and we went through a really dry spell there, the first of summer drought conditions. Remember, you couldn't burn, and it was really getting dangerous. Then we got some relief, but I don't think we've gotten enough to really relieve the drought fully.
Yeah,
and I know my yard and some plants could sure use a little watering right now. It's crazy because you've got some places right now in this country that are just flooding. They're just horrible flooding. Mm-hmm. Then you've got places that are burning up because they're so dry and there's fires.
I know.
And poor Europe, Greece and France, they're burning up.
Yeah.
Greece has been on fire for a month now, and it's just not getting any better.
It's awful.
This whole, I guess it's cyclical. But it's always been that places had floods and other places had drought. It's just the nature of they say it's getting worse.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know if it's getting worse as much as it is just reported a lot more now.
Yeah, we're more aware of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know I said when we come back that we were going to talk about paranormal experiences.
Oh, yeah. You've had one.
Yes, I have. I've had a few. So when we first started going to New Orleans, we would stay at this place called the St. Vincent's Guest House.
The what?
St. Vincent's Guest House.
Okay.
And it used to be an infant asylum. So back
what asylum?
An infant asylum.
They have asylums for babies?
Yes, but no, it wasn't like
not insane asylum.
insane.
It was like sick babies?
Yes, almost like a...
tuberculosis sanatorium or something? Or
the kids weren't sick, but their parents had got sick. So it was almost kind of like a... what are those called? Where the kids, they're put up for adoption.
Oh, like an orphanage?
Yeah, it's almost like an orphanage.
Okay.
So during the yellow fever and all of that, the kids would come and live with the nuns at the infant asylum. And when we stayed there, like the pictures of these kids and the nuns that took care of them were in the hallways, and it looked exactly the same as the pictures. So like the staircases looked exactly the same, everything. Yes. And they had paranormal, like, adventures there. They would do seances, and which we never attended that, but they would host them in the meeting room right off of the lobby. So we knew the first time we stayed there that there were talks of don't bring toys, like don't bring any stuffed animals, any crayons, anything like that, or like coloring books.
Why?
Because they said online that it would welcome the children's spirits into your room.
Oh, I'd be bringing Play-Doh and crayons. And
I know. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to take any of that. So we were already freaked out.
Robot.
We were already freaked out when we went. And then we went, the very first time that we stayed, it was during Hurricane Nate, which was just a tropical storm at the time anyway. But it was raining. It was eerie.
Stayed in a lot.
Yes. So we ended up staying in a room that was on the second or third floor at the very back of the hotel. And there wasn't a whole lot of people staying here at this time because it was kind of questionable looking. It wasn't fixed up then. And so We were walking down the hallway, this very long hallway. Finally get to our room. It's on the end. And it was supposed to be 2 beds. Well, one bed was when you first walk in, and then there was a separate room with another bed. Well, we all stayed in the same bed together because we were freaked out. We left, went out for the night, come back, and we made sure that the door was locked because we were really freaked out by the feeling of the hotel.
Yeah.
Made sure the door was locked. We come back, our door is wide open. And we just knew, we locked this door. What is going on? Anyway, we get headed home. We ended up having a decent trip. We get headed home looking at our photo that we took of the hotel that night when we got there. There were faces and shapes all in the windows. We zoomed in and was looking. And
Get out of town.
yes, I tried to look, but I don't have the picture on my phone anymore. But one of the figures in the window, it looked almost like the masks that the people would wear in that time, like the doctors would wear. You know what I'm talking about? With the long...
with the pointy face,
Yes.
look like birds.
Yes. It looked like that. And then in one of the windows, it looked like a nun. And then just the other windows, it looked like just almost like faces. And it was the craziest thing. Well, then I guess that wasn't enough for us because we went back and stayed there multiple times.
Did you get any more pictures? Any more things happen?
No, not in pictures. But the next time that we went to stay, we were in the lobby and my mom was checking us in. And me and my aunt were just looking at the photos, waiting around. And we heard kids laughing. And we thought maybe the guests that had just checked in had kids because they were coming walking down the hallway. And they walked by, no kids. And I asked my aunt, I was like, did you hear that? And she was like, the kids laughing? And I was like, yes. Because I didn't even ask her what she heard. I just said, did you hear that? And she was like, yes. And she said, I thought that those people had kids with them. And I was like, me too. They didn't.
Wow.
It was so eerie. But now they've since remodeled the hotel, and now they advertise it as Hotel St. Vincent, and it's $300 a night to stay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. But they went in, and people that are local to the area said that they've went in, and when they were remodeling the hotel, they just threw those pictures away. They were in the dumpster out in the out in the parking lot.
Who does that?
I know.
That's history.
It makes me so sad. They could have at least donated them to a museum or something.
Giving them to somebody.
I know.
Something.
But they were saying that the people who remodeled it had no care at all about the history of the building.
They were just trying to make money on a hotel in New Orleans.
So now it went from being a haunted historic place to being just a boutique hotel.
Just an expensive hotel.
Yes.
I wonder if people still detect anything here.
I
wonder if
don't
it
know.
cleansed the place of its spirits.
They probably went through with sage.
Yeah.
That's what they say
Or
to do.
a priest, throwing holy water everywhere or something.
Something. But it was so cool just to, I don't know. I don't think you should just go looking for those experiences, but it was neat.
When I was up in Fayetteville, we happened to show, I think I talked about this a few weeks ago, we happened to show up at this cigar store. I like to sit and talk to the guys and smoke a cigar. Mm-hmm. There was ghost hunters were all sitting around there because the building we were in, the shop is one of the original buildings in town. It's been there 200 years. It's been there since the 1840s or something. And so the ghost hunters were in there sitting around, and they had these little devices that could beep, and lights could come on, and they had that thing like when you witch for water with the 2 wires, and they were all beeping, lighting, and moving. It was bizarre. Mary, who poo-poos any of that stuff, she thinks that's the stupidest stuff, was wide-eyed and just gape-mouthed for about 2 hours. And now I think she's a full believer in ghosts. But that was pretty bizarre. And then we ran into a guy in an antique store that Mary bought a little table, and he brought it out to the car for us, a little side table. Mm-hmm. And he asked, were we enjoying the town? I said, yeah. I said, we even ran into ghost hunters at the cigar store. He said, they ought to come here. And I said, why? He said, oh, man. And he told us 3 or 4 things that happened. He owns this really nice, it's called Sissy's, I think. And it's a big, one of the, big antique stores with lots of stuff, and I think consignment stuff.
Yeah.
he had all kind of stories, and the building they're in is really old. And yeah, he had all kind of stories about things moving and doors opening and drawers opening. And he had a really bizarre story about how they had found these 1950s plastic Christmas ornaments like you don't see anymore. They're big. They were like a Santa Claus and a snowman and a Miss Santa Claus, and they're all big, about 3 foot tall plastic with the bulbs in it, and they just regular bulbs, and they were just plastic.
Yeah.
And they found a nice setup that this guy had found in his grandparents' basement, and they put it in the front window at Christmas time last year. And he said he and his wife owned the place, and he said they worked until about 9 o'clock that night, setting it all up in the window. They had big windows, because this had been a furniture store and other stuff. So he said they got it all fixed up, and they couldn't wait the next, the day for everybody to see the Christmas display they'd just done. This is in like October. He said he went down early the next morning to go open up, and no one had been in there. He even went back and looked at their cameras. No one had been in the store. No one came or went.
Yeah.
And those plastic things were all over the store.
Oh, my gosh.
Out of the window, laying unplugged all over the store.
That's
and
crazy.
He went back and looked at them. He thought maybe one of his employees did it for a trick or something. Nope, nobody was in there.
My gosh.
So
I wonder what he saw on the cameras.
I've never experienced anything much like that, except I told you I one time may have heard something out of a cemetery, but I'd love to experience that if it really happens.
Yeah. I know those Birmingham ghost tours that we had talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
They say a lot of people see and hear stuff on those, but I haven't.
Well, I've got a neighbor at the lake, Michelle, and she is an empath. She calls her. She says she can see, hear, and talk to spirits.
Oh.
And I thought, how much beer have you been drinking down here at the lake or whatever, Then it turns out, people know her, and apparently she's had some pretty events where people witnessed it with her. It's not just her claiming this, and she says she's sensitive to that.
Yeah.
She can see and hear, and she's had awakened at night with somebody looking right in her face.
Oh, my gosh.
Stuff like that. And she could, one time in a cemetery or somewhere they were checking around, somebody grabbed her hand when she was opening the gate.
Oh, my
She said,
goodness.
just grabbed her hand and shook it. And when she hollered, because it startled her, and her husband or somebody was with her, and he looked, and you could see the handprints still on her hand. On her
Happened
arm,
to Bailey
really
and
grabbed
them.
her.
Yeah, that happened to Bailey and them at a cemetery. I can't remember what cemetery it was, but he said that him and his sister, his mom, and his brother-in-law, they went to the cemetery and that they felt, or I want to say it was his mom or his sister, felt like scratches on her back, and like she was like, okay, like we've got to go, like it hurt, and they got into the car and like it was claw marks on her back.
No way.
Yeah. It's the craziest
That
thing.
might make me a little nervous.
I
I've always
know.
said I wouldn't be particularly afraid of, if I saw something. I don't think I would be, because I'm just fascinated. It'd be more like fascinating than scary.
Yeah.
But if something can scratch you or hit you or throw you down or throw something at you, I think that might make me a little more respectful of the power of it. I mean, I've heard of that, and you see these supposedly documented cases of exorcisms and stuff, and crazy things are happening to these people that they can't self-inflict. Things appear on their skin, and it's just like the same thing comes about with people that believe in stigmata. You know what stigmata is?
No.
Don't you? Stigmata is it's what happens when people they take on the wounds of Christ as he was. So bleeding from the thorns in the.
I've never heard of
thing,
that.
Bleeding from where the nails should have gone through their wrist. Tears of blood. It's called stigmata, and there's so many documented cases of people that happens. That blood just starts appearing in these just specific places. And then I read a thing about saying, well, maybe these people were so focused on their religious beliefs that they literally their brain caused their body to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's possible.
I don't know. I don't think so either.
I mean, God knows I've tried to, all kind of things in my life that I really focused on it, didn't do that.
Yeah. Almost like being rich. I really focused on being rich.
Oh, yeah.
Never
I
seen any money
identify
come
now
up.
as a rich person.
Yeah.
So my pronouns are sir, and I should be wealthy.
Well, I thought when you were talking about Mary and the side table a little while ago that you were going to say the guy told you about spirits coming in through furniture.
Really?
Yeah, because I've heard of that.
Well, I have to.
That you have to be careful what you bring in your home.
Isn't there that famous doll?
Oh, yeah.
That supposedly has been since the 20s.
Annabelle.
Annabelle,
Yeah.
That everybody, that if they get that doll and bring it in their house, it's just hell to pay. That doll just brings in some kind of horrible spirits, or people start dying, or bad things happen.
Mm-hmm.
They get rid of the doll, it goes away. And whoever they give the doll to, or wherever it goes, it follows the doll. It's like a bad spirit in that doll or something.
I don't know. I mean, I like thrift shopping, but I don't think I'm bringing any dolls home. I used to bring dolls home from the thrift store when I was little. That's what I would go in looking for, but I don't think I would bring anything like that home now.
Well, I mean, if you see a doll in a thrift store and its head is spinning around and there's green puke coming out of its mouth, I'd leave it on the shelf. I think that one could stay there.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, it is 7:12. We're going to take a break really quick. When we come back at 7:30, we're going to have a person, Samuel from the Chestnut Creek Heritage Chapel with us to talk a little bit about their place and the history of it and what they have to offer the community. So you're not going to want to miss it. We'll be back in just a moment after the break. You're tuning in to Morning Mayhem with Dollar Bill and Taylor.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
There's a pride that comes from employing over 6,000 people in America. Welding, fabricating, assembling with local and global parts. Delivering a machine just right for you. Japanese engineering meets American ingenuity that builds on our 50-year legacy of quality, reliability, and durability that makes us the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. These aren't just machines. This is a way of life And that's why Kubota is investing hundreds of millions right here at home. Because we won't settle on what was good enough yesterday. We're innovating with inspiration from the hard-working men and women that proudly sit on our equipment every day. So you can be sure that every one of us have you in mind when a machine or implement comes down that line. We know how hard you work. We'll do the same. This is Kubota.
Good morning. We're back with you here on Piper Peach Radio's Morning Mayhem. We're so glad to be with you. Taylor and Dollar Bill here, and we hope you're doing good. It's going to be perhaps rainy today. It will be cooler, which is nice. I think the heat's coming back after this little cool thing goes
Womp
through.
womp. I know. You know, it feels good. Everyone decorates for fall. And then, bam, the next week it's hot again.
Well, you know, I remember that's been hot, hideously hot, almost to Halloween.
Yeah,
And that's the end of October.
I know.
So, and I've never been hotter than some sitting in the stands of some football games.
I know. It's
Early
miserable.
games, they can be miserable.
They can be. But you know what's wild, though, is that some Octobers, so some Halloweens, I remember it being so chilly
Yeah.
that, like, you have to
it's
have
that
layers.
weird thing where you can have 3 days of pretty chilly weather and then hot as it can be right after that. It's crazy weather when you start getting into spring and fall. Of course, we always associate spring with a lot of the tornadoes and bad
Yeah.
storms. We can also have them in the fall, but yeah, you're right. You can have, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. Really hit or miss. You never really know.
October, though, or late September and early October is my favorite time to go to the beach.
Really?
It is because it's still warm enough to enjoy. You can get in the water. You might start having problems with some of the pools,
Yeah.
but the ocean's still warm enough to get in it. It's really usually pretty and warm, and then there's so few tourists, and the snowbirds haven't come down yet.
Yeah.
So you got the place to yourself. You can actually drive on the front beach roads and stuff without having to stop and there be so many people. It's really nice.
I know at our church, we do a ladies' retreat. And the first year we went in November. And it was like the first weekend of November. I loved it. It was still warm enough that you could sit on the beach. We didn't try to swim or anything. But there was
Even
nobody.
in November?
Yeah, the
Wow.
first weekend of November. But there was no one there. In the past couple of years, we've went in September. And it's been nice. It's just a little bit more
A little
crowded.
more crowded, sure.
Yeah.
That's why I like October. It's right in the middle.
Right in the
Sweet
middle, that's
spot.
right. That's what I told my husband, though. I was like, the older I get, the more I realize why these older people come down to the beach this time of year. I used to wonder and be like, why do people come down here in the winter, you know?
Right.
Like, you can't swim or anything, but there's
So
nobody
nice.
there.
Yes.
So relaxing.
You can go to a restaurant and go right in and sit down and eat.
Yes.
You can drive around. You can go to things without waiting in line or having just hideous amounts of
Yeah.
half-naked, sweaty people smelling like coconut oil.
I know. I don't know. I think I'm just getting older, and I don't even realize it. So there we go. But
Well, you know what? You go through these changes, I'm older now. I'm really old now. I went through being young and wanting to go down there when it was the most crowded, the hottest, Then I got my middle age with kids, and I wanted it where I less hassle, but I still liked it being really crowded where there's lots of activity and fun stuff. And then I got, just between middle age and mature, and the hassle started building with that kind of stuff. And I didn't want people, I got tired of I would complain about how nobody put enough clothes on and da-da-da. Now that I'm old, I don't want anybody there, but I don't mind naked. I like seeing people in their scandal, but I don't want many people around me, and I don't want to have to wait to eat.
Yeah.
Of course, now at my age, I eat dinner at 4:30. The old people stuff. It's the stuff I used to make hideous fun of. I'm now doing.
well, it's a rite of
What
passage.
goes around comes around.
Yeah. I saw where a lot of people, they're starting, like when they go to the beach, they're starting to go out first. So they'll go out and get lunch and shop around during the day and then go to the beach in the afternoon up till sunset.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Pretty smart.
It is smart because the hottest part of the day, you're in a mall or you're shopping, you're doing something that's comfortable.
Yeah.
And then you can still enjoy the afternoon where it's hot, but it's not hot for 12 hours. It's only hot for 4 hours.
Yeah, and then it's not as
And then
crowded.
there's nothing prettier than the beach at sunset and that
I
kind of
know.
stuff. I also like the beach at sunrise. I just don't ever get up there
I don't
early.
either.
I used to get up and walk the beach or run on the beach from when it was just getting daylight and watch the sun come. That
Yeah.
was beautiful. That's when I was like 18 to 30. Now that ain't gonna happen.
I know. I always mean well and set my alarms to get up to go watch the sunrise and
Snooze or
snooze every
off,
time. That's right.
roll back over.
I've got to find a alarm for heavy sleepers or
They
hard
have
sleepers.
some. You know, they have one that drops wooden blocks on your head.
I need that.
Yeah.
Or the one that like zaps you until you wake up.
Yep. And there's one that is so annoying and it moves. It's like rolling around on
Yeah.
the floor and you have to get up and you can't get it to shut it off because it's moving around.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah. I needed stuff like that too. I usually would set 2 or 3 different alarms every day
Yeah.
because I couldn't oversleep. I had to be at the radio station. I had to get up at 3.
Oh my goodness.
And I mean, I'd set the first alarm at 3. I'd have another one go off at 3:05. I'd have another one go off at 3:10. Another one go off at 3:12. Another one go off at 3:50.
That's how mine are.
And I just keep hammering until I finally go, I got to get up.
Yeah, mine just mysteriously get turned off. I don't know how it happens.
I have had that too. I've had them mysteriously get destroyed by being thrown against a wall.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Don't know how that
Craziest
happened.
thing.
Wake up and get ready. Say, alarm hadn't gone off yet. You look around the room. First of all, you're late, and you look around the room, and there's pieces of an alarm clock and a big dent in the wall.
Yeah. Well, during the break, I was telling you marijuana stories have come up, and you saw that over the weekend about the marijuana stories. What was it during the break? It was before the show.
Yeah, about the smelling marijuana on a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it said there was a new law coming into effect and that teachers and caregivers were to report to DHR if they smelled what seemed to be marijuana on a child.
Well, I mean, that's pretty unmistakable smell.
Yeah.
And, you know, the thing about weed, if you're around somebody smoking it or if you smoke it, it does infuse itself pretty strongly in your hair, in your clothing.
Yes.
I mean, I've been around people that have been toking on some marijuana and they just walk by you and you go, whoa, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it knocks you down strong.
It does. You know, one of my jobs I worked at, the guy that was in the station next to me, he smoked marijuana. And he would come in from his lunch break. And one day I had my water sitting there. I had it like in a Stanley style cup. It tasted how he smelled.
No way.
Yes. And I
was
thought
that
that he had
strong?
put something in my water.
Maybe
Like
he did.
I was freaking out. But my boss, he was like, he said that it was just like it was lingering from his smell.
And, you know, if you smell something strong enough, you'll taste it.
Yeah.
So it may have been just you were smelling and tasting the water scene, but it
Maybe
wasn't.
so. It was disgusting though. But anyway, all that to say, they had come out, said that was a law that was going to be passed.
That it was mandatory that if a teacher smelled marijuana on a child, she was supposed to turn them into DHR
Yes.
or whatever, police.
And that it was like going to be a misdemeanor once it was looked into. And
you said it was
all
going to be
that.
charged with like a child endangerment or something.
Yeah. Well, now they've come back and said that the viral post about that new law was fact checked and it has come out to be false. So all of that, so many shared, it went viral and it's not even real, not even true.
Well, you know, I mean, I think if a child, especially a young child, like first through kindergarten through 6th or 7th grade, if they came in smelling really strong of marijuana, then you know it's probably not them. It's parents or what the environment they're in.
For sure.
So that would seem like, whether it's a law or not, that's one of those things that should have been brought up by a teacher, like child abuse.
Yeah.
Now, if teenager smells it, then you got to kind of assume they're out with their friends smoking it, maybe,
Yeah.
not just the environment. But I would think that whether there's a law or not, especially with the young children, if they are reeking of it,
It still should be reported.
it should be reported.
Yeah.
And I don't know that there should be a law, because here's the deal: how do you keep fault? I mean, there could be reasons for falsely being
Yeah.
true. And then nowadays, so many people do edibles and gummies and stuff that you don't have the smell much anymore. A lot of people are ingesting their marijuana in ways other than smoking it.
Yeah.
So
But that is false. It was just a hoax.
it was a hoax.
So, all those people, I guess I saw a
An
lot of people
urban
on there
legend.
worried about it. I guess like worried about reporting and wondering, because I guess not everyone smelled it. I mean, but once you do smell it, you know what it is.
Oh yeah, I mean, and,
these kids
I've
aren't being
noticed
sprayed by skunks on the way to school.
when I was in college. I was around a lot of weed when I was in college, and I mean, this was in the 70s and 70s, early 70s, mid 70s, and it had the smell of marijuana. But I've noticed now over the years, the marijuana that people are smoking now is stronger and stronger, much stronger
Really?
than the weed. We had that stuff that local guys grew around cornfields and stuff here
Yeah.
around you, you know. You rarely ever saw any of the stuff that was exotic, they called it, you know. And so now I've noticed the smell of it is so strong. And I went to a hotel one time, and obviously these two fellas, they came out of their room, heading past me in the hall. I was going to my room. I saw them come out a door down the hall and come by me. And the whole hallway reeked.
Oh, gosh.
I don't mean just I smell marijuana. It made me almost nauseated. It was
my
so
goodness.
strong. It was like so strong it'd make you sick, even if it had been garlic or
Just
heather,
anything. Yeah.
It was that strong. And I got to my room, and thank God when I shut the door, I didn't smell it. But every time you went out in the hall, it was hideously strong. And so, I mean, it's a lot stronger smelling now, I think, than it used to be.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think once you smell it once, you can't miss it again.
Do what?
Once you know what it smells like, you can't miss
Oh, yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, if you've ever been to a concert or you know, a lot of places.
Or just walking around town in general sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Go to Birmingham. Go to Southside. You want to smell marijuana? Go to Southside in Birmingham. Not Southside Gadsden, Southside in Birmingham.
Well, y'all, it is 7:27. We're going to take a break real quick, get our guest on and set up. We have a few people here from the Chestnut Creek Heritage Chapel to talk about that. And you're not going to want to miss it, because I think a lot of people have passed by this church and not realized what it was. Or they've heard about it and not have known what it was. So stay tuned. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll have them on. You're tuning on to Morning Mayhem with Dollar Bill and Taylor. We'll be right back.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
There's a pride that comes from employing over 6,000 people in America. Welding, fabricating, assembling with local and global parts. Delivering a machine just right for you. Japanese engineering meets American ingenuity that builds on our 50-year legacy of quality, reliability, and durability that makes us the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. These aren't just machines. This is a way of life. And that's why Kubota is investing hundreds of millions right here at home. Because we won't settle on what was good enough yesterday. We're innovating with inspiration from the hard-working men and women that proudly sit on our equipment every day. So you can be sure that every one of us have you in mind when a machine or implement comes down that line. We know how hard you work. We'll do the same. This is Kubota.
We are back on this Monday morning. Glad to be with you as we get into the month of August. Thank you for watching and listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Pete's Radio. We appreciate you. It's going to have a chance of rain today, and then it's cooler. So you'll be, even if it's rainy, it'll be more pleasant than normal. And we've got some guests with us here today to talk about a local chapel that has historical benefits, not only for the local community, but for the families involved.
Yeah. So introduce yourself. Tell us who you're with.
We're with Chestnut Creek Heritage Chapel, and I'm Ola Taylor. On the board, I am vice president and secretary.
Yes, ma'am.
I am Denise Carver, and on the board. I am considered the president, although I don't know why, but I am.
No, they voted you president when you weren't there one night, right? That's how that happened. And then Lynn,
I am Lynn Blackman. Some people know me around here as Sam, and I am the official grass cutter.
there you go. Most important job. How
Yeah.
did Sam become Lynn? How did that happen? Or
How
how
did
did
that-
how
how
do you
did
have
that
two
happen?
different names?
How'd I have two different
Yeah.
names? Growing up, my daddy was Sam, and they called me Lynn, my middle name.
I got you.
And after he passed away, a lot of people call me Sam.
When you were growing up, were you Little Sam and he was Big Sam?
No, I was always just Lynn.
There you go. Well, we're glad to have you guys on to talk about this chapel. Tell me, historically, what's going on? How old is this church? What's the beginnings of it, and why is it significant? That's what we're interested in right now.
Yeah.
Does anybody know?
All right, I'll take that. Chestnut Creek Baptist Church began supposedly about 1818.
Really, that old?
Yeah,
It's
very old.
1818.
It started as a brush arbor, if you know what that
Right,
is.
Brush Arbor Church.
And then went to a log cabin, a frame building, and then finally the building we're in now. And it was built about 1925, somewhere along in there.
Wow, 101 years.
So yes, it's a very old, one of the oldest Baptist churches in the county. So that's the background of it.
And this is in Verbena.
It's actually in Cooper, which is no longer.
Doesn't exist on the
Everybody
maps
still
anymore,
knows
huh?
Cooper, don't they? Yes, but we have a Verbena address.
I got you.
So we're called Verbena.
So this, I assume, since that church has been there since 1818, and of course the building you're in now for 101 years, this is a church a lot of families have grown up in. I heard there was a story about how people got interested in making sure the church, which was our assuming right that the church had just kind of died in the sense that it was not many people
No,
going to it
it
anymore?
had not died. They had grown and built a new building.
Ah, okay.
So
So,
about
that building, the old church, was
Right.
just sitting there?
Right.
kinda? Okay.
And Denise can do that story because she was there in the cemetery.
Yes, they built a beautiful new building.
I got you.
Across the street. So this building sat there for, I think, 8 or 10 years without being used. And I was on Ancestry quite a bit researching my family, and I kept bumping into someone that I did not know on there. But we decided that we would meet in the cemetery because I knew, being local, where the graves were of the people we had in common. So we actually met in the cemetery.
And they'd never been to this cemetery before?
Never had. And I showed them where some of the graves were. And on that day, someone was at the chapel, and we just wandered in there and started looking around. And then we found out later that it was slated to be torn down because, they couldn't maintain the new building and all the growth that they were having there and maintain the old building.
Well, in a sense, old building's just overhead at that point.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it needed a new roof, which was going to cost a
Oh,
lot
so
of
expensive,
money.
yeah.
So, I found that out, and then my mom told me, she said, well, I don't know what you're going to do, but you can't let that thing be torn down. That's our family's history.
Well, Denise, that's the sad thing. We were talking, Taylor and I were earlier about there was a place in New Orleans, and when they remodeled it, they took all these old photographs from 150 years before and just threw them in the dumpster.
Yeah.
And you see so many wonderful churches and buildings that have, if not historical benefits for the whole community, at least for families or a small community, to get destroyed. And you can't keep everything. But, something like a church where people's lives went through there for as long as it did, you hate to see those just disappear with all the memories and everything that went through it. So y'all decided you were going to save the church, huh?
We did.
So what did you do?
Well, we met with the trustees and deacons from the church, and we just came to an agreement that we would take it over, but we had to come up with some legal things to give it a
Right.
new name.
So it was no longer going to be possession of the church.
Right.
It would become its own entity.
It is, yes. And so we just worked together and found an attorney and formed our own little nonprofit. It is a nonprofit, and went through all the calling the IRS to become, a
that's a mess.
501c3, so that people who contribute
Take it off their taxes.
They can take it off their taxes. And now, Lynn jokes about just being the grass cutter, but he's actually a representative from Chestnut Creek Baptist Church.
Excellent. Thank you,
Because we
Lynn.
always have someone on our committee from the church.
Very good. Now, did you grow up going to the church?
No, I did not. About the mid-90s, I ended up going to the church and
The new
joining it.
church. Did you ever go to
Well,
the
it
old
was
church?
This was the old church. I ended up going to the old church and joining in the mid-90s, and they moved, I think it was 2008, y'all can correct me, that the church moved to the new building
I got you.
and become vacant. And I always just had a place in my heart for that place, and I still do.
And that's
And
amazing, isn't it?
It is.
Some places have a feeling about them that some buildings just maintain a character that's stronger than others. Churches tend to do that too, because, when you think about everything from birth to death can happen in that church, for families and for individuals. You can be christened there, grow up there, go there, raise a family there, and die there.
Yeah.
And that builds a character not only in the church physically, but also just in the community. I think it's great that you're saving this building that so many families have gone through. So Ola, are you a member of the church?
I grew up there.
That's what I was going to ask. So did you grow up going to the old church?
Yes, I did. My family had been there for decades, so I went there until I went to college and married, and then moved away and finally came back to Verbena, but I haven't been a member in a long, long time. But this crew asked me to join them after they already had it underway, because they felt like I could be the historian.
There you go.
Because I had been a history teacher. And
Oh,
so
good.
that's what I've enjoyed, is
See,
working
people
with
have
the
asked me
history.
to help them with the history of things, but it's just because I'm old. They figure I'm talking from first person. I'm not having to research anything.
Well, I am the grandma of
There you go.
our group, yes.
Denise, did you grow up in the church?
I did. I grew up there.
Since you have people in the cemetery, I've assumed that's
Yes.
been your church.
And I lived right there in Coopers and grew up. Dad was in the military, but when we came home to Alabama, Coopers was our home. And so, the cemetery was my playground. I lived close to it. We walked over there. We played all the time. And we walked to church, went to church there. And I went to church there until I was probably 19.
That's neat.
20
Now,
years old.
tell me about Coopers. Was that the original name of that little area, or was there actually ever a Coopers town or anything like that, or was it just a community?
Now, see, this is a historian question.
It's never been incorporated,
Right.
but it has been a settlement for a long, long, long time. And it was not called Cooper until about 1870, when the railroad came through. But it was settled as a place where the stagecoach came through.
So this was like in the Mississippi Territory and then Alabama
Yes,
Territory. It was already there.
Right, by the 1837 map of Alabama, there are no towns as such in that area, but there's a place called Chestnut, and that's where Cooper is now. There was a Chestnut post office,
Oh, that's why you're the Chestnut.
because Chestnut Creek runs through there.
I gotcha.
And so that's how the church eventually got its name.
Was that on the old Mobile to Huntsville Highway, basically? or-
Tuscaloosa to Mobile,
Yeah.
to Montgomery,
Yeah.
through there, yes. But it became known as Cooper because a fellow named A.J. Cooper son of Peter Cooper, the original settler in the Verbena area, a planter. A.J. built businesses there. And so it became that when the railroad came through, they named it Cooper's Station because of Mr. Cooper. And so then we grew up calling it Cooper's because it was Cooper's Station.
Right. That's neat. And when did it dissolve? When did people just stop calling it Cooper's?
Well,
Verbena, did it kind of just dissolve out in the 50s or 60s?
in the 60s, in the 70s probably, they lost their post office.
Oh, okay.
And so
that
when you
killed a
lose
lot
that, you lose a lot of your
You
name.
sure do.
Yeah.
Right. The state had little signs out at the limits, city limits of Cooper, and north and south, and one of them said Cooper, and one said Cooper's. But those are no longer there.
Oh,
So the name just still is local. A lot of people used to call it Kellico because of the service station that was there.
Really?
But yes.
wow.
But that's how it became Cooper because of Mr. Cooper.
Now, so the cemetery, is this the original cemetery by the church?
Yes.
So what's the oldest grave in the cemetery? Do you know? Have you come close to figuring it out?
Derek Scott at the County Historical Society could tell you to the very minute, but there are many, many graves out there that are not even marked. If you've ever seen the cemetery, big empty space in the middle, people are buried there, no markers.
Really, none at all. I guess they originally had wooden markers.
Yes, right, no doubt. In my family, the earliest grave that's marked is 1852.
Wow.
But we know that this fellow's father was also buried there. So it's a very old cemetery. One of the old graves is a Mr. Wyatt, which is a big name in the founding of the county. So very old.
Of Chilton County?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wyatt. So you've played in that cemetery when you were a kid a lot? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Are there
Everybody did.
Any ghosts?
Well, none that I found. I mean, and we kid about that because we were asked that question about the chapel. And
Yeah, anything
Lynn
there?
has the best answer to that. Tell them what we do with the ghosts, Lynn.
Well, I go in the building and it's night or something other. Some people have asked me about,
Have you
well,
seen anything?
are you seeing any ghosts? They're not going to bother me because I'm there to protect their home.
There you go. So you've never
That's
seen
right.
anything, even friendly.
No.
You know, it's we were talking about this earlier that you know, I'm not sure, I've never experienced anything, but when I went to Marion Military Institute for 3 years, and so that's where I felt a real love for Southern history, colloquial history. They have so many beautiful homes. You know, that was a very influential town before or up to the Civil War. It was considered the Florence of the South, and it was the only, I think, city in the entire nation that had 2 accredited female seminaries, 2 female colleges, and a male college. Howard College was there, Judson, and the Marion Female Seminary. So they had money, they had beautiful homes, incredible churches and stuff. But boy, they have a lot of people in that town that'll tell you there's ghosts all over the place. And I even had a professor one time who had been the last one. He was very factual. And I think he taught me mathematics, and I think he was a math teacher. But anyway, he claimed his house was haunted and stuff. So I'm on the fence. I don't know what to believe or whatever. I personally have had no effect, but I love cemeteries. I've always, even when I was a young teenager, I would go out with my camera and go through cemeteries and kind of brush them, try to respect them. I would photograph tombstones that had unusual, writings. I never got any of the real funny ones like "I told you I was sick," but the stuff that had some really beautiful poems and Bible verses and some neat stuff. But I love cemeteries, and I think they say a lot about, and if you know history, as you do, you can see where there was the plagues and the flus and all that, because you suddenly see a lot of children of the same 2 or 3 year period buried in a grave, and you go, yellow fever or whatever. It's historically beneficial to keep these cemeteries and these old churches viable. So to keep it viable, I assume now that y'all own the church and you're a charity organization. Was it 501c? Is that what it is?
501c3.
C3. You have to have money to keep it painted, clean. I guess you have power to it and all that. How do you do that? How do you find funds now that you're no longer under the umbrella of a functioning church? How do you keep things going at the church?
Well, we started out just walking door to door, telling people what we were doing. And our first big thing was to put the roof on there at $28,000.
My goodness.
So we did a lot of scrambling. We've had yard sales, all kinds of things like that. There have been people who just hopped in and sent donations because they wanted it preserved. As Denise said, a lot of grant writing.
Good.
What else, Denise? Of course, our Christmas bazaar keeps us going.
Now, tell me about the Christmas bazaar. That's probably your one biggest event,
Yes.
right, for fundraising? What is that? What do you do?
Community members who have talents, which I do not have, hand make items and donate those items to us. And so we try to put a small price on there because the point is to get people into the chapel to know that it's there and to come away with something that they can remember the chapel by. So we don't price things really, really high. But it's just, you're going to come in there and these are unique items that people made themselves that you're not going to run to Walmart. You're not going to see them in every other home around. And we tease one another about it. We end up, oh, what did you make? I'm going to buy that, But we try not to buy anything, or most of us do, until all the customers are gone. But we kid each other about having a swap, But if you love homemade items and you love unique items that everyone else won't have one of.
Right, folk art, a lot of it.
Yeah.
And we work on this all year. The bazaar is always first Saturday in December.
First Saturday in December.
Yes, Lyndon puts the banner up. That's one of his talents.
Gets off his lawnmower.
Yeah, gets on the ladder. But we start crafting the day after the bazaar and work until time to set up the next bazaar.
Yeah.
A lot of sewing. Denise's husband does wonderful woodwork.
Really?
Makes all kinds
Wow.
of good things for us to sell. And Lynn gets involved.
I would also, maybe this would be a good point to jump in here and say, if you have talents, paintings or handmade
Sewing.
items, sewing,
Quilts.
the
Yes.
woodworking is, quite amazing. And you could make something and donate it. Maybe you are an artist and you just have one that's been a painting or something that's been sitting around and you'd like to donate it. We could use those items.
Darn right.
Yeah.
And we all have things, and we don't want it to be. We do have yard sales sometimes, but we want these to be uniquely made for this purpose. Something nice that you would be willing to donate. And once you donate it, we do send you a letter, and you can get that off on your taxes.
Yeah.
And you put the value on the letter yourself. You value your own item, and it's really fun, and it's beautiful to see this old chapel.
Y'all decorated up for
Decorated,
Christmas
yeah.
Oh,
and
yes.
everything.
Aw.
Yes.
And we've developed quite a following. There are people who come from out of town
Really good.
to the bazaar, and we've been fortunate.
I looked, it's going to be the
that.
5th of December this year.
Right?
First Saturday's the 5th. So what you do it that Saturday, what time's it start and how long does it go?
8 to 12.
8 to
We'll
noon
keep it short and sweet.
and early.
Yes, and people have learned to wait outside the door.
Get
and
there
be in
early if
line
you're gonna
to
get
come
your
out.
pick.
Yes, yes.
Is it hard to find the chapel? If you've never been to Verbena, how would you go? Or if Cooper, how would you find it?
Lynn?
I
Lynn
would-
knows because he lives right there.
If we were going to come to find your chapel, how
Go-
would we get there?
go down Highway 31. When
Montgomery
you get,
Highway 31.
yeah, when you get into Cooper,
And there's no
There's
sign
two
that
ro-
says you're in Cooper?
no, there's no sign. There's a little gas station
Chevron and
on the
storage buildings.
Okay.
storage buildings. After you pass them, there's two roads to the left. You take the second road. If you take the first road, you're going to go around a real steep curve. Just as you got around that curve, you take a right. You will see a rock building, which is Cooper School.
Oh, one of the
And-
old rock schools.
Uh,
Is it still a school?
no, it's I'm not sure it's part of the church programs at Chestnut Creek now. But you would take a right and it would take you to it. If you go to the second road and you take a left, you can't miss it because as you come up that hill, this beautiful old building is sitting there looking at you.
There you go. So
that's
I assume y'all also do great signage on the day. You probably got signs out on the roads. You don't?
We
Really?
had one at one time. Our county commissioner at that time helped us get a nice sign, and he had it put up for us, and the state made us take it down because he didn't put it in a good place.
Oh.
But it is on County Road 24 East
Off 31.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
24 is
Lynn's
gone.
second road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
24 East.
it's not far. I mean, if you know where Peach Park is, and who doesn't, we are 2 miles south of Peach Park.
Oh, really? Just go 2 miles on past Beach Park, going south, and that's when you'll hit
It'll
the
be a
county
left
road.
turn.
That's easy enough.
County Road 24.
So that's going to be the 5th. It's amazing, and I love the fact y'all are working so hard to keep this going like that, so you don't lose it to history.
The other thing we do that we've raised quite a bit of money to keep it going is just events. And of course, this building, and we do look forward to you all coming and seeing it, is the walls, the ceiling, everything's made of old wood. And so the sound in there is wonderful. So it really lends itself to different types of singing. And so we have, of course, a lot of gospel music, but we've had other events as well. We had a big community choir where the choirs came, and some bluegrass events. So that is a big deal. And, you know, we would encourage other people, because we do rent it to other people, to go ahead and plan an event there. Just
That's
contact
great.
one of the board members and plan an event. And it can be an event for you and your family, or if you wanted to plan an event and, you know, we pass the offering plate still. And let us benefit from the money that our offering that's taken up. We would like to see more people. And that's really why we appreciate so much that you are having us on.
Oh,
because
love
we
it.
feel like a lot of people in the county, especially the north end of the county, don't really know this building is there.
Yeah.
And they certainly don't know that it's not a church with regular church services and that they can rent it out and use it.
Do you rent it out for weddings?
I would love to rent it out for a wedding,
I mean,
but we
you know,
have not so
A
far.
lot of people are having a hard time booking their weddings because their church can only, you can only do one wedding on a Saturday maybe or whatever. And, if it's already booked, then what do you do if that's your church and it's booked? Somebody booked it before you. And they're having, there's some really expensive places. And I would think if you wanted to have a wedding, having it in a beautiful church is a great thing, better than doing it maybe in a barn or out, that kind of stuff. So that's neat that somebody could rent it to do a wedding there. Do y'all still have like a piano or an organ in there or anything, or is it?
We do have some pianos, and at first Ola kept those pianos tuned and all, but it seems like
Not personally, I hired it.
she didn't tune it herself.
Yeah, if you can tune a piano, you're doing something.
I can't even play one.
No, I can't either.
But we do have an historic piano there.
Do you really?
That was once in the courthouse for a long, long time.
There was a piano in the courthouse?
Yes, up on the third
Chilton
floor.
County?
They had musical conventions there, I think, and it dates back to the Marion W. Easterling days.
What would that be about?
Well, he was the radio person doing gospel programs morning and noon
Really?
here in Chilton County when I was a child. And I don't know how long he did it, but at any rate, he was connected with that piano.
Oh, be damned.
But at the time, the man who owned it wanted to donate it. And so we attended some county commission meetings and did some talking, and they donated it to us. And it involved bringing it from the third floor down.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
The sheriff was very helpful on that, the county commission. They got it down and put it in the chapel. And it's a beautiful old piano. It's called what, Lynn?
I'm not so sure.
Quarter sawn oak, I think they call it. Beautiful wood piano. So it's there,
That's neat. Did you have that in the chapel?
right.
That's so cool.
And then we have a more modern one that was used when the church was there.
They left it in there?
Yes.
Didn't have to move it. That's amazing.
Well, do you have anything else that you want to let the community know about the chapel before we head out for the day?
Denise mentioned that we rent it out, and people have used it for family reunions, high school class reunions, anniversary parties, baby showers, and some people still ask to have their funeral there.
Really? No, I didn't think about that.
Yes.
And it would also be, I've been asked about this, just a beautiful place for a photo shoot. Because, well, you know, okay, you have an old church, what do you do with it? So we filled it with antiques. So there's different rooms like a parlor, or granny's parlor, an old bedroom. There's a man cave with antique tools and such. So it would be a beautiful place if you're just looking for an indoor place to take photographs.
If someone wants to just come look, take a tour of the church and just see it, how can they do that?
Call us.
Yes.
Really?
We don't
Is that
have a
simple?
phone at the church, but we use our personal phones and
I got you.
put it out on Facebook. And
yeah.
we have a Facebook page
You do?
and a
Okay.
website,
What's the Facebook page name?
Chestnut Creek Heritage Chapel.
Chestnut Creek Heritage Chapel.
Chapel.
Very good. I'm going to look that up. That
Yeah.
sounds fascinating.
Well, I'm so happy with everything that y'all are doing. I know it's a big deal in my husband's family. His parents got married there, and his grandparents went to church there, and all of things. I don't think y'all were doing weddings when we got married. He wanted to get married there so bad, but I don't think that y'all had got that all set up and established yet. So we missed out on that one. But I'm glad to know that y'all are now, for everyone that has history.
We do have an album, and all the people that, like you just said, oh, I got married there, we invite them to send us an 8x10, and we will add your picture to the photo album
Yeah.
that we keep on display. And
Oh, that's neat.
it's one of the neatest things. People stand back there and look at that for a long
That is really
long time.
cool. I'll have to get their picture, see if it's in there
I
already.
would love to have that in the album.
Yeah. What is this photo that you have with you? Is it for
Oh, yes.
to show us?
I wanted to show you this. This is, I told you a group of us, I think there ended up being 13 people who didn't know each other, meet in the cemetery. And this is the grave that we met. This is Alabama Jane Grant and her husband, Robert T. Grant. And he was one of the music leaders there in the chapel. But she was the one that brought us all together.
Oh,
And what's
So-
her name?
Alabama Jane Grant.
Alabama. I
Annie.
love that.
And she
Alabama
was a
Jane Grant.
Devon. Her middle name, or maiden name, was Devon.
Yes.
Devon.
Yes.
Very musically inclined people for the most part. So both of them were very musically inclined.
Alabama Jane Devon. That even sounds like a movie star, doesn't it?
yeah.
Well, she was a start before we ever took possession of the building. We had what we called a Cooper's Cousin reunion. Expected about 30 people. There ended up being about 80 come, and we actually put this photo up on a projector on the wall, and everybody went, oh, because everyone had heard of these people. So many of us have these people in common, but no one knew what they looked like. And Ola actually procured this picture from is from someone in California.
wow.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's people from all over the United States that are connected with this building.
That is so
And
neat.
they are buried with their feet almost up under the 1961 addition at the back of the church. So they're very close to the building.
So the chapel, they've added over the years, so this is a pretty big church
It is.
building.
It is. The part in the back was built starting in about 61, but there were also 2 side wings added in the 1930s
Wow.
to enlarge it and make more room for Sunday school. And this was done by a donation from a man from the community who had gone out west and made his fortune, and he sent money to build those.
Really? And he wasn't even living there.
No, but his name was Peter Cooper Pinson. The Pinson family was from Cooper.
Was he related to the Cooper of Coopers?
I don't know. I think it might have just been an honor that he was given that middle name, because he doesn't go back as far as the old Peter Cooper,
I got you.
but no doubt named for him.
That's neat.
And there's a monument to him there in the cemetery. He's buried in California, where he ended up. But there was a monument built. It's not in great shape, but everybody's very familiar with it.
That's so neat. Well, we really appreciate not only you coming and sharing this with everybody, but the fact you're doing what you're doing. Thank you for saving a wonderful part of people's lives and continuing with it. Do you have a riding lawnmower or a push mower?
I went from push mower to a zero turn.
Oh,
man.
Listen, you need some
I'm
help.
big time.
I'll come out there and help you cut the grass. I just get to ride that zero turn. That's like a ride at Six Flags for me. Although I might
For a ghost.
end up,
Yeah.
well, I might end up mowing over some tombstones and
Oh,
everything else.
no.
I don't know that I'm very good at it, but
Now, we don't do, the cemetery is not ours, so we don't have to.
No.
that's still the
with that.
church's,
Yes.
or is it its own entity now too?
It belongs
So
to
many
the-
churches now, will sell off the cemetery to someone else to maintain, but it's still the church's.
It's the churches.
Very good.
In fact, it was a Cooper Community Cemetery.
I gotcha.
And that joined with the backside that is Chestnut Creek Baptist Church Cemetery. It joined and become Cooper
One
Cemetery.
big cemetery.
One big.
Now, how much grass is there around the church you have to cut? Is there a lot?
It's not a lot.
Good.
Well, thank y'all so much
thank
for
you.
coming on today and talking to us about the Chestnut Creek Heritage Chapel. And for those of you who are interested in any information on it and the Christmas Bazaar or renting it for events, you can find them on Facebook as Chestnut Creek Heritage Chapel or online. You can just Google it and your website will come up.
Yes.
All right. So I think that's going to do it for us today. It is 8:07. We ran over just a little bit, but that is okay. It is Monday, August the 3rd. Y'all take your umbrella with you because it's going to be a rainy one, or at least 45% of this county is going to get rain, hopefully. And we'll see y'all tomorrow on Tuesday. Bye.